Hello and welcome to Angels, Spirit Guides, and the Paranormal. I actually used to teach that class at a college. And I was there for like 7 years teaching it. And it was a non-credit course, but they said that it was their longest running non-credit course. And it was fun to teach. Met a lot of wonderful people. Anyway, I'm new to this. I did used to have a radio show years ago, and I got out of it to get into nursing. I did that because I found that I had natural healing abilities, as is in one of my vlogs that I've done on here. Anyway, so I went into nursing to see how to use those healing abilities and also to learn the human body. Because I do feel that when we do healing on others, for those of us who have the ability, you can hurt someone. It's not to be taken lightly. I mean, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm going to go say a prayer for you, which is nice. Every prayer counts. But as far as healing, I don't want people praying to heal me, that they're going to heal me. No, not if you don't know what you're doing. And I feel that it's a natural gift. And if anybody says they can heal, the one thing they have to be able to do is body scanning. Body scanning is so when I'm talking to you, whether it's on the phone or in person, I will be able to see if something is wrong within your body. I can scan your whole body. And that's another reason why I went to nursing school, because I wanted to know how everything worked. You know what I mean? And also, when I would hear, don't touch, or don't go there, or go over this way, I wouldn't know why I was being told that. But now I do, because I have a nursing license. But anyway, I did want to do this really quick. This is about microwaves. And I'm saying that because there's a lot of people that are getting diverticulitis. There's a lot of people that have stomach ulcers, stomach cancer, colon issues. I will share with you that I had several issues. I had Barrett's esophagus, I had pancreatic issues, and I also had stomach ulcers. So I was going to a wonderful GI doctor who was in Towson, and I've been going to him for years, and I adore him. He was the best doctor. I believe now he's retired. I've moved to another state, so but anyway, I'm sure he would back me up on what I'm going to tell you. Anyway, so I was supposed to go in and have an endoscopy and possibly do some biopsies and see what's going on, because Barrett's esophagus, which is normal in men, and obviously not one of them. But anyway, they can be precancerous. So yes, so I go in and he puts me under, and I wake up to him staring at me. He's on the left side of the bed and he's staring at me. And I was very drugged up and said to him, "What?" He said, "Okay, what'd you do? You never take the medications that I tell you to take. You never follow my advice. You never do as you're told. But everything's gone. What did you do?" Everything was gone. I looked at him. I said, "I stopped using the microwave." And then I fell back to sleep. I'll tell you, I kept getting sick. And, for anybody too, whether you're single or not, it's a rough road, when you're trying to support your family. And at the same time, you're never feeling right, always feeling off. Anyway, ever since I can remember, I have God dreams. I always say it too in my work, God is my boss, Jesus is the manager, and Archangel Michael is the head of security. God, I have not met him, but I've heard him. So when we have discussions, I've never seen him. So I shouldn't say I haven't met him. I haven't seen him per se, but I did hear. Jesus, I did see when I was a little girl. And then Archangel Michael, I've met him too. And that'll be time, I have to share that story, because all of my stories you will find have a little bit of humor maybe a little more than a little bit of humor. But anyway, to continue. Okay, to clarify why I'm saying like male and female and this. Okay, so I was raised Catholic. And as a Catholic girl, I was raised that God is a boy. With angels, if you were raised that angels have wings, then that's how the angels are going to appear to you. If you were raised to believe, and in your heart and soul, God is male, then that's how God is going to appear to you. Okay? They do what you believe. Okay, so to clarify that. Anyway, so I was praying, and apparently, this was several years ago. This was like 15 years ago. If not like, yeah, probably about 15. No, gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh, it was like 20 years ago. Oh my gosh, time's flying. Glad I'm not getting older. But anyway, but apparently, I have a lot to do, and I had a lot to do back then because, I wasn't a nurse back then. I didn't go into nursing school until I was in my 50s. And no, it was not hard, everybody. Math was actually easier, and I believe that nursing school is easier, or school is easier for older people because we have wisdom. But anyway, so I have God dreams. So one night, I had a God dream. And I went to a classroom, and I was sitting in the little desk that I sat in, like in first grade. And I hear God say, like, sit down, Janie. So he got a big booming voice and nice. And I've always remembered God as being kind and loving. That's why, like, when I would go to church with my mom as a little girl, I'd like pull on her dress going, who's that man talking about? That's not the God I know. Mom, who's he talking about? And my mother used to bring Mallow cups just to shut me up. But anyway, so I sat down, and he started telling me the first time that I saw a microwave down to where I was and to what I was wearing. And of course, with my sick sense of humor, I was like, sounds a little stalkerish. And he thought it was funny. But he went into the scientific aspects of why I shouldn't eat anything that's been microwaved. He was very specific, very scientific. And yes, I am very scientific too. I'm very scientific. And it was, again, very detailed. And basically what he's saying, from whether it's in a container, on a plate, on a napkin, those rays are getting into your food. And from the time they enter your mouth to the time they leave your body, it's like burning the whole trip and making you sick. So at the end he goes, ha ha ha, I know, Janie, you need proof. Okay, so why does he say that? Because when I found out that I was going to do this kind of work, I said, God, I need to know the truth, though. People don't care what I think, and my opinion doesn't matter. I just want the truth. And what you tell me is the truth, because you've never led me down the wrong path, then I will teach that. But I do ask that when you do teach me something, I do need some proof. So I wake up, and I am getting ready for work, and my youngest son is downstairs, and we're getting ready. He's school, me work. And I smell smoke. I'm like, Kenny, what's going on? What's going on? So I run downstairs, and he's like, Mom, it's this microwave. It just started smoking. And it was a new microwave. So I unplugged it. I said, nope, never using this one again. Put it by the door. And of course, the poor child's going, how am I going to cook my oatmeal? On a stove. Yeah, they've been doing that for years. Anyway, hence going back to my doctor saying, what did you do? That's what I did. And I believe, I'm going off of kind of poor memory, it was probably 6 months that I went without eating anything from a microwave, and everything was done. I've also found that in my sessions, I will have people come in with newborns Newborns that are on Prilosec, which is for stomach acid. Newborns. It's like, come on, it's not like these kids are eating chips and Doritos and tacos when their parents are going to bed at night. And a lot of the moms too, I do ask, do you eat spicy things? Or no, I try to avoid all that because I'm nursing. So then I look and I was like, So when you're pumping the milk, it's going in the freezer and then you're putting it out and then you're heating it up. Well, back in my day, we used a bottle warmer, but a lot of the moms are saying, yeah, just throw it in the microwave. So I said, don't do that. Just don't do that. And then I want you to get back to me and tell me what the doctor says when you take the baby back. And every person that was recommended to do, the children's stomachs were fine. So I'm asking you, you don't believe me? Just try it. Try it. And you'll see it works. Anyway, I am going to come back again with a story, and all of my stories are true. That's my truth, actually, and my life is fun. But this is going to be about a ghost. You're going to enjoy it. So thank you for listening, and please hit subscribe, like if you liked it. And then a question, any questions, I will do my best to get back to your questions, to give you answers. Good night. God bless.